I'm Donnie the Body Man. I want to talk to you today about the art of hustle. Now, most of my career I've worked commission. And when you work commission, you got to know how to hustle. There's an art to it. Because you want to get as much work done as fast as possible. But at the same time, I promise you, the fastest way to do anything, no matter what it is one time. You got to come back and fix something, or if something comes back and you become a comeback king, that's not good. One of my great uncles used to have a saying, if you're in a hurry, slow down. If you're not in a hurry, speed up. And after all the years I've been doing this, I think the key to putting out a lot of work is just being consistent. Now, if you're a younger guy, it takes you a little time to really get your speed, but speed is what it's all about. And I guess one way of looking at it, you don't want to really be rapid. You want to be like a steady moving force, like the Mississippi River. Mississippi River moves a lot of water, but it doesn't look like it's doing much. I worked with a guy named Mike. He looked like he would have trouble getting out of his own way, but the man was consistently turning 100 hours a week. So you can't always judge somebody by appearances as far as how much work they're getting done. But at the end of the week, I guess the typical body man, I've always heard 80 hours a week production in a 40-hour work frame time, but Senior disagrees with me. He thinks a really good body man should be able to turn 100 hours a week, and I have heard of guys who turn 100 hours a week. I've actually done 100 hours in one pay period. 116 hours was my record, actually. But that was a situation where I was trying to earn a Christmas bonus, and I worked probably a little over 40 hours that week, but consistently in a 40-hour week, I was always somewhere around 80 hours. I actually, one time I can remember, delivered 80 hours by Friday closing time. I got 80 hours worth of work Monday morning, and by Friday close of business, all of those cars had been delivered, and that was a pretty good week. A lot of it comes from muscle memory, but you've got to be focused on what you're doing in a body shop. You got to have some hustle. The downside of hustle is if you get in too much of a hurry and you start making a lot of mistakes, those mistakes can add up quickly. I know of a shop that was in business for decades, and the story pretty much is when they had the best month in the entire history of the company. And they were in such a hurry and made so many mistakes, like didn't part check, test fit hoods, and they were the wrong hoods. They painted them, they couldn't send them back. Somebody got in a hurry and didn't affix a radiator hose properly. The lady that owned the car was driving down the road, hose popped off, all the coolant came out. She kept driving, she burned up the motor. The owner of the company decided he wanted to replace not only the engine but the car. And the fallout from that best month in the history of the company resulted in some changes in the pay plan and some other changes, and before you know it, nobody would work for this company and they went out of business. So that is an extreme example of being in too much of a hurry. But obviously you can't just hang around and BS all day and expect to make any money either. So that is my advice on the art of hustle. Have a good one.